The Chiefs are back home for their home opener in Arrowhead against the San Francisco 49ers, and Patrick Mahomes is leading the way. I have the Chiefs' game plan coming up right now. Welcome back, Chiefs Kingdom. I'm Ryan, and this is Ryan Going Rogue. The name of the channel is RGR. Had some folks ask me about that this week, so I wanted to get that cleared up real quick. We're going to talk about the 4 points of the Chiefs' game plan against the 49ers here in a minute, but I want to ask you a couple questions first. Hit in the comments what you think, because this whole trying to get a YouTube live going before the game has become a little bit tough. So I'm going to do one afterwards, and I want to know, do you want it Sunday night afternoon, immediately post-game, something like that? Or do you want to wait a day and have it on Monday night, at least for normal weeks when the Chiefs play on Sundays? What's the best time and day for you to be on to ask me questions on YouTube Live? Now, this is one of the game plan videos. We're going to go over the 4 points, but we got to get a little business out of the way. If you're new, hit the subscribe, hit the bell notification, leave a comment, and hit that thumbs up if you like what you see. If not, let us know what I need to improve on, okay? Now, let's get right into the game plan. On offense, because, you know, we can't talk enough about the offense with Pat Mahomes. The guy has been going off. And that record that he set in the first 2 weeks is just a stepping stone. He's got 2 more records that he has a possibility of breaking this week. The 49ers are a team that I think has been a little bit tough to get going, but Kyle Shanahan's a good play caller. So they have an offense that's capable of putting up points too. We're going to talk about the defense in a couple minutes. But right now on offense, first and foremost, this is a team that likes to play a lot of single high. They're going to play some zone, some cover 3, some cover 1, and they have Richard Sherman on one side. So far, teams have elected to really stay away from him. I don't necessarily see that, because I don't think Pat Mahomes cares if it's Richard Sherman or not. He's got an open window, and with guys like Tyreek Hill and Sammy Watkins, he should. I think he's going to take his stabs at Sherman, but that's just a start. Now, I think obviously the weakest point than what's gone on to this point is the opposite side, and it seems to be a ripe target. Ahkello Witherspoon has not played well. And he's gotten a lot of passes thrown his way. He even got replaced by Jimmy Ward at one point last week, who played pretty much the same way. So expect that side of the defense to be a place that the Chiefs are looking to attack. And you'd like to see it both on some of those little end arounds, but also on the deep ends and some of the go routes on that particular side. The Dino concept that we saw last week, those double posts and looking to do that, that's more of a concept to attack a cover 2. I don't think they're going to see a whole lot of that, so look for some differences this week in the game plan against the 49ers. Now, also, when they're trying to run the ball, and I think this is a week where the Chiefs might want to try to get Kareem Hunt a little more involved. I think he's 11th in the league right now in rushing yards. And for a guy who led the league, that's not terrible. But it's definitely been de-emphasized to this point in the season. I think this is a team that's ready to be run on a little bit. And if the Chiefs get up to a big lead in particular, which I kind of expect them to do, you could see them run the ball a little bit more dominantly in the second half. The complications are going to be that the injury thing. And on this side of the ball, the Niners are getting somebody back in Reuben Foster, who's great against the run. But number 2 point is, especially if Foster is probably unlikely to be in the greatest shape, and they have this other guy named Earl Mitchell that they can run on. He plays some nose when they're in an odd front, plays some tackle and whatnot. He looks to be the guy that is the most susceptible. He's given up the most yards, and teams have had the most success running in that direction over his position. So that's a gap in an area that I think the Chiefs can make some hay in, especially if they're up by a large margin and they want to eat clock and they want to hand the ball off inside. Now, that's one thing that I think can help them, but the combination of Foster may be a complication. When you have a guy like that, I think the best thing to do is run right at him, which hopefully means more Sherman, because, we all know that I need to see more Sherman on the field, but hopefully you do too. And running directly at him is a way to counter that. Get a body on him, cut off of that, and I think that's something that Kareem Hunt could really spring some long runs once he gets past that second level. And I'm looking for one of these games to be a breakout for Kareem Hunt, so keep an eye on that. Now, when we flip over to the defense, this is where things get a little bit interesting. I think the Chiefs have an opportunity here to really play a better level of game. What they've seen in offenses with the Chargers, as well as Pittsburgh, are two pretty prolific quarterbacks and offenses in general. And now they get a little bit of a break. Garoppolo isn't quite firing on all cylinders like he was last season, and I think there's some opportunity there. In particular, when looking to get inside on the run game, I think the most important thing they can do against these Niners is set the edge. And that's going to come down to D Ford like we saw in week 1. Got to have some more out of Speaks and Passanio when they're in there as well. Setting the edge is key because the Niners run outside very well. Breida's got a lot of yardage on the outside. And whether it's off tackle or all the way out towards the edges, this is a place where the Niners look to make some yardage. I think that setting that edge and allowing the linebackers to flow is what's going to be key to stopping that run game and making sure that you get them in the 3rd and long type situation that this defense needs in order to protect the secondary. The secondary is something that's going to need some help. So set the edge, flow to the ball. We saw some of that in last week's film review, and if you missed that, it'll be here at the end of this video in one of the cards. If not, just jump back to the last video. Now, point 4, and this is key. Against the pass, you don't want to let the Niners get off on a roll. And so there's a couple of spots where you can attack. Really, both tackles are fairly struggling here, even Joe Staley. So the edge rushers have some opportunity in this game. They have given up a lot of pressures, both tackle spots. But the number 1 spot they've given up is inside at left guard, and that's Laken Tomlinson. A guy that has really moved around a little bit and struggled in the pro game, and he's a guy that I think Chris Jones can have a lot of his way with. I expect Jones and both the edge rushers to get home and have one of those games where they can say that they put up 4 or 5 sacks. It's definitely a possibility against these Niners, and I want to see them dial up the aggression. Let the Hunters hunt. Chris Jones, D, Justin, Passanio, as well as Speaks, they got to get there and get home. So that's what we're looking for. Whether it's McGlinchey, even Staley, in particular Tomlinson, those are areas they want to attack. Now, in the pass game, like I said, they have to protect that back end. So really what they have to pay attention to, and I think the premier matchup of this game for the Niners that the Chiefs have to be worried about, is George Kittle on Eric Murray. We know that Eric Berry has not practiced. He's not going to play in this game. And so you're going to still continue to stick Eric Murray in a position that he's not capable of playing. That's a strong safety, man on man, against a tight end that's much bigger than him. Kittle's an athlete, and he can get loose. He had a great game week 1, took a step back, and I think they're probably going to focus on him as part of their game plan to attack Eric Murray. Protect him. Give him a little double up. Jam Kittle at the line all day long. The linebackers have to do their part. If they man up, Murray's got to stick his face in there and jam him at the line himself and get up underneath his pads. He's got a height disadvantage, but in terms of leverage and keeping him from getting a clean release, that's one on the side of Murray. Use it. Be physical. Be aggressive. That's the way that they can keep Kittle from killing them down the middle. Those are the 4 points. That's how I see it, and I expect the Chiefs to come out with a win. Check out the Locked On Chiefs podcast for my prediction, as well as Chiefs Digest. We'll have something up on Sunday morning. Again, want to know when you want to see a live. Is it Sunday post-game, that evening, Monday evening, before Monday Night Football or something like that? Obviously, when the Chiefs play the Broncos on Monday Night Football, it'll be a little bit different. But let me know in the comments what you think. Hit the subscribe, share it around. I appreciate it. It'll be on Facebook too. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the game, and I'll talk to you next time.